This past month has been a pretty tough mental health month for me. I've definitely been struggling with a lot of anxiety, OCD flare up, just feeling like really overwhelmed, overstimulated. And I definitely, I guess you can call it, like, fell off track a little bit. I kind of lost touch with my spark. And in other words, like, I wasn't feeling motivated or inspired. It was really hard to just get out of bed in the morning and to go about my day, doing the things that I usually do, that I know help me, that I usually enjoy doing. It's all just been really tough. And for a good portion of just a little over the past month, I felt like just like really stuck. Like I was just digging myself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. And I've definitely had bouts of depression in the past, and I felt like I was very close to getting in that same state that I've been in before. And I feel so grateful and I feel so blessed that I was able to find a psychiatrist, start medication. I was able to find a new therapist, start therapy. A couple weeks in now, I'm feeling a little bit better. Definitely not 100%, but the hope is there, and I think that's what's important. And I was just kind of thinking, like, what should I talk about in the video today, because I haven't really been feeling inspired. There hasn't been much like creative energy flowing through me with things that I feel inspired to share. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, I know that I'm definitely not alone in the struggles that I've been feeling lately. I think that we're all going through something, and I'm definitely not a unique case here, and especially with people who subscribe to my channel. I know that a lot of people follow me for my like mental health content or my neurodiversity content, and I wanted to share just like a few things that you can do, or just like a few reminders for you that I've also been applying into my life, for like how to get back on track after a rough patch. And I want to start by saying, like, it's not all or nothing. And this is something I have to remind myself every single day, especially with just like my rigid brain and my black and white thinking. I have a lot of all or nothing thinking, which is definitely something that actually contributes to my OCD and something that I'm working on right now. But it's not all or nothing. And if 90% of your day is spent feeling down, feeling anxious, like whatever it might be that you're experiencing right now, and then 10% of your day is just a little bit better, and then the next day maybe it's 89% of those like really hard, uncomfortable, negative feelings, and then 11% is a little better. And then maybe the next day it kind of goes back, and then a few days after that it's like 70% feeling down and 30% feeling better. It can be easy to focus on like the more challenging aspects, and this doesn't mean to like bypass that, but when we're healing and when we're working through something that's really tough, we need to remember to take note of those moments where things are feeling a little bit up, where we are feeling a little bit better. Yesterday in therapy, we were just kind of talking about like, how can I stop myself when I am having like obsessive thoughts? How can I stop the compulsion to do something to ease these thoughts, which just feeds that OCD cycle, if you're familiar with OCD. And I let her know that like I was able to stop myself for 2 days last week, and then it came back again. And she reminded me that like that's still something to celebrate. That's still a win. Like 2 really good days after being down for like 30 days, that's that's a positive. And of course, my all or nothing thinking is like, oh no, it feels like I'm back to square one. When in all actuality, like this healing journey, whatever it might be that you're healing from, that you're trying to get back on track from, it's not all or nothing, and it never will be. And you're not going to go from 0 to 100% instantly. There are going to be days where it feels like you are going back, and then there's going to be days where it feels like you're propelling forward, and that's just part of the process, and that's part of the journey. And so celebrate those wins. But if you feel like after those wins you're kind of going backwards, that's okay too. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It just means that this is the process of getting out of this and getting back on track. And so if you have a day where it's mostly good and a little bit bad, that's okay too. And if you have a day where it's mostly bad and a little bit good, that's okay too. There's still like a little bit of good in that to celebrate and to appreciate and to count as a win. And give yourself a little bit of credit too for creating that. Like, you're doing that, and that's awesome. The next thing I want to share is to kind of relating back to the all or nothing thing, is to ease back into it. I know for me, especially like with my autism and stuff, like being in my routine is really important for me, and it's honestly like essential for my well-being to be in my routine and to have some sort of predictability and knowing what I'm doing and sticking to that daily routine every single day. But after being in a slump for a while, like it can feel really daunting. It can feel really overwhelming to just instantly jump back into what I was doing before. And so personally for me, I've been kind of like easing back into things, being okay if maybe I miss a day at the gym when it was already planned out, or if I might not get as much done one day that I had hoped, and just reminding myself that like I'm working through a lot right now, and I'm doing the most that I can do, and it doesn't mean it's going to be this way forever where I can't do as much. It just means that in this moment, I'm operating at limited capacity, and so I'm trying to find the things that I can do within that limited capacity, which I think will also, by starting small, help to build just like a little bit of momentum over time to make it easier over time to get back to what I was doing before. So I'm not sure if that resonates with you or not. And then also going along with this is to just like really try to be easy and gentle with yourself. And I know that anyone can tell you that, and it's a lot easier said than done, especially if you're like really struggling, and if you're just feeling down. It's really easy to put the blame on yourself. But at the same time, you have to look at what you're doing right, and you're doing a lot of things right. Maybe what you need to be doing right now is slowing down and is resting and is taking this time to just try to survive each day. And that right there is more than enough. And so give yourself the credit for that. You don't need to be operating at full capacity all the time. And this doesn't, even if you're not going through something really challenging right now, or your mental health is okay right now, you're still a human. You're not a robot. And as humans, we go through cycles, and our capacity fluctuates, just depending on different things happening inside our body, other external life stressors. And then to add on top of that, being neurodivergent, our brains are already operating at such crazy speeds all the time. And so it's okay if it feels like you aren't doing as much as you think you should, or as you had done in the past, or as you wish you could, it's okay if you're just focused on the next step in front of you. And a lot of times that's actually what we need to be doing. And so give yourself the credit for getting through each day. That right there is definitely more than enough. And then just like some practical tips for getting back on track. I know for me that this past month it felt a lot of days like the things that I usually do, like the routines that I have built up in my past to really support my mental health and just to support my my overall well-being. Those things include like going to the gym, going outside a lot, being in nature, and then just like my daily meditation practice. It really felt like those things weren't helping at all. And some days like I didn't do any of that because I honestly didn't have the energy to get up and do those things, and that's okay. But then those days where I did have the energy to do those things, I still did them, even though it felt like they weren't helping as much as they usually do. And I'm realizing now, this is kind of like my all or nothing thinking, like they still did help maybe like 5 or 10%. And that's great, especially when we are feeling so low. And so think of like, what are some of those things that you know that you can do that in the past have helped you? They might not be making a huge difference right now, but maybe try to do 1 or 2 of those things each day. And again, keep it small so it's not super overwhelming and super daunting. Maybe it's just going for a quick walk outside. Something as simple as like drinking enough water during the day. And you might not see those instant mood improvements. You might not feel instantly motivated again or instantly inspired again. And that's okay, but just try to stick to those things that you know do help you in the long term. And I think that it will build itself back up eventually. Even if you're only feeling 5% better after doing that thing, that's still progress. And so I've been trying to stick to those things that I know help me. And yesterday in therapy, like she asked like if going to the gym has been helping me, and I'm like, well, not really, but I do feel just like a little bit better afterwards. And that also reminded me that like a little bit of progress is still progress. I think the next tip that I have, and I understand there is a little bit of privilege that comes along with this, and so I'm going to try to speak on it mindfully, but if you can, try to find your support system. I know for me it was seeking out like proper mental health treatment because I knew that that's what I needed, and so I found a psychiatrist, I found a new therapist, and I understand that's not necessarily accessible to everyone, and so it could just be a trusted friend or a family member who you can go to and just kind of like ask if they have capacity for you to share how you've been feeling, and maybe just talk it through with them. If that's not available to you, then maybe some friends that you find on the internet, like on Instagram, or even if that's not available, then kind of finding like I guess other like relatable content or something that you can read, books, YouTube videos of other people who are going through something similar to you, just to kind of create that sense of, okay, I'm not alone in this. I might not know someone directly who's going through this, but I know that there are people out there who are experiencing this, and just hearing someone talk about it makes me feel a little bit less alone. And I think that's really important, especially if we're going through something that's tough. It can be really easy to feel like we're alone in this, and this is the like I'm the only one who is experiencing this, when in all actuality there's what, like, is it 8 billion people on the planet? There's other people, there are other people out there who are experiencing similar, and you're definitely not alone in that. So finding some sort of support system in whichever way is accessible to you can also be really helpful. And then I think just like overall, trying to find that sense of hope. It can be really easy when we're in that cycle of, for me, it was my OCD, just really bad anxiety, waking up in a panic every single morning, and then in turn not having like the energy to really do anything throughout the day. It can be easy when we're in that to feel like it's going to be that way forever, especially if we've had different periods of that in the past as well, which I definitely have also. But just like trying to find just like a little bit of hope in each and every day. It could be that 10% where you do feel a little bit better. It could be trying to invite a little bit of more joy into your life, however that looks to you. Maybe just watching your favorite TV show, doing something that soothes you. I've been taking a lot of baths, a lot of like Epsom salt baths. Just those little, appreciating those little moments where it feels so small and just like a big, huge cloud of darkness. There's just like a little bit of light. Focus on that light, because that light is proof that it's not going to be this way forever. And everything changes and everything transforms, and this hardship that you're going through right now will eventually transform into something else, and it will get better. And it's hard if you're in that to understand what I'm saying now, but just try to find just like a little bit of joy where you can. And again, it doesn't mean to completely bypass how you're feeling, but it means that even in the darkest of those periods in our life, there is still something that can give us hope, and focus on that, even if it feels really small, even if it feels insignificant at the time, because it will build and it will get bigger over time. And so I hope that something that I shared in this, maybe not everything, but hopefully just something that I shared can help you with whatever you're going through right now. And I've said it in a lot of my videos, and I'm going to say it again, that I am really proud of you. It's not easy, but I think just the fact that you're here watching this video shows that you have what it takes to get through this, and you will get through this.